Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to pull back the curtain on those hidden strategies that really fuel successful businesses, around the globe. Today, we're on a bit of a mission to demystify the complex world of strategic consulting projects, these things that happen behind the scenes. Think of this as your shortcut to really understanding how organizations tackle their biggest challenges. Could be navigating tough markets, could be totally transforming their digital future. We're going to sift through the layers, pull out the important stuff, the maybe surprising nuggets, so you walk away genuinely well informed.
That's a great way to put it. Strategic
Yeah.
consulting, it isn't just one thing you can easily define. It's really a multifaceted approach. You have different types of projects,
Yeah.
and each one addresses, well, very distinct business objectives. We're talking about everything from, say, aggressive growth plans to massive digital shifts, or even ensuring long-term sustainability. So today, yeah, let's peel back those layers. Let's explore what these crucial projects actually do and give you a clearer picture of the strategic heavy lifting that shapes industries.
All right, let's dive in then. When we talk about competitive intelligence, I mean, most people probably think of like corporate spying or something. But what are companies really looking for? And, what's the payoff that makes it so critical for the people making the big decisions?
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
But competitive intelligence projects, they're way beyond just spying. They're actually quite sophisticated strategic initiatives. They're designed to systematically collect, analyze, and then use information about competitors, yes, but also the wider market. The real goal is foresight. It's about helping organizations anticipate market moves before they happen, spot emerging threats, maybe uncover some non-obvious opportunities for getting ahead.
Okay, so it's not just about what your rival is doing right now. What are some of the maybe less obvious ways companies track their rivals? Some of the more fascinating methods?
Exactly. It's much deeper. Take, for example, product launch monitoring. It's not just noting a new product exists. Consultants dig into its features, its market positioning, the pricing strategy, how it's being received. It's about understanding the why behind a competitor's actions. That helps clients see gaps or maybe unexpected threats in their own plans. But it gets more advanced. Think about technology scouting and benchmarking. This means identifying really new emerging tech in the industry, sure, but also assessing a competitor's hidden tech capabilities. That can involve analyzing patents, looking closely at R&D investments, even tracking strategic partnerships. These can signal a big future shift, not just one product. And another powerful area, often overlooked, is customer and supplier intelligence. So gathering insights on, say, competitor customer satisfaction, their loyalty programs, and really importantly, their key supplier relationships. You might uncover a vulnerability there, like a single supplier they rely on too heavily, or maybe a strength in customer retention you can learn from. What's really illuminating, I think, is how these insights let companies proactively shape their own strategies instead of just, reacting all the time.
That's a great point, the proactive shaping. Okay, let's pivot then. Digital strategy. It sounds like it's all about websites and social media, maybe apps, which, okay, it is, partly. But what's the deep dive version? What are the really transformative business goals being achieved here beyond just like having a nice online presence?
Right. Digital strategy projects are about developing a company's whole approach, its comprehensive plan for using digital tech and media to hit its core business objectives. It's much, much more than just presence. It's optimizing that whole online footprint, yes, but also leveraging digital tools for truly effective customer engagement, driving operational efficiency, and crucially, using data analytics to make better, faster decisions and, fueling innovation.
Okay, that makes sense. So for a business trying to really get the most out of digital tools, how do these projects actually impact the customer experience? Or maybe the company's internal workings? What are the less obvious ways?
Oh, they're absolutely transformative. They can touch pretty much every part of the business. One really critical area is customer data analytics and personalization. This isn't just about collecting data piles. It's implementing advanced analytics to process huge amounts of customer info and then getting actionable insights out of it. Insights that lead to, say, highly personalized marketing, tailored product recommendations, really improved customer service. A big challenge there is often just integrating all the different data sources to get that single view. Then there's cybersecurity and data protection strategy, which is, well, non-negotiable today. It highlights the absolute importance of not just defending against attacks, but building maybe a zero-trust framework, fostering a security-first culture. That's often the hardest part. It's about building trust, ensuring compliance, basically safeguarding the company's digital nerve center. And think about innovation labs and startup collaboration. This could mean setting up dedicated internal labs or partnering with agile startups. It's how bigger, maybe more traditional companies can explore new digital tech, pilot innovative ideas, and importantly, inject a sustainable culture of uh, rapid experimentation. If you connect this to the bigger picture, digital strategy is really about transforming how a business fundamentally operates, generates revenue, and interacts with its world.
Growth. That's the dream, right? For pretty much every business. But it's rarely simple. Often it feels like companies are just trying to sell more of the same stuff. So, what are some of the most impactful, maybe less obvious ways consultants help organizations find genuinely new paths to increase market share, revenue, profit?
Yeah, growth strategy projects are fundamentally about identifying and then implementing very specific pathways for a company to significantly boost its market share, revenue, and profitability. These often involve things like exploring totally new markets, developing innovative products or services, sometimes optimizing current operations so they can scale, or strategically using M&A.
Yeah.
It's really about finding the right kind of growth,
Yeah.
not just growth for growth's sake.
Right. That raises a good question then. Beyond just selling more of what they already have, what are some creative, maybe less obvious growth routes companies explore, especially if the usual paths feel kind of crowded?
Oh, there's some really creative approaches out there. Take market entry strategy. Consultants help companies enter completely new markets, maybe domestic, maybe international. This means really deep analysis of the market dynamics, identifying those often hidden barriers, regulations, unique distribution channels, things like that, evaluating potential local partners, and then developing very precise strategies to actually get in and compete. It's about reducing the risk of the unknown. Another impactful one, often underestimated, is franchising and licensing strategies. Developing these models lets a business expand incredibly quickly, but with much less capital risk and direct investment compared to opening all the locations themselves. And of course, there's digital transformation specifically for growth. This isn't just about being more efficient. It's using digital tech to create entirely new business models. Think a traditional manufacturer starting a subscription service or offering hyper-personalized products online, enhancing customer experiences in new ways, streamlining operations, all specifically aimed at driving, sometimes exponential, growth in the digital space. What's really fascinating here, I think, is seeing that growth isn't one size fits all. It's about strategically matching the expansion plan to the company's unique strengths and its specific market position to unlock real sustainable value.
Mergers and acquisitions, M&A, always makes headlines, right? Usually about the massive price tag. But there's so much going on behind the scenes that decides if it's a huge success or, well, a colossal failure. What are M&A projects fundamentally about, and what's the thing that's often missed? The thing that causes so many deals to actually fail to create value?
Right. M&A, mergers and acquisitions. Fundamentally, it's the process of consolidating companies or assets. Various financial transactions involved. Companies use them for specific goals, entering new markets fast, acquiring critical tech, achieving big economies of scale. But what's often overlooked, and frankly, it's probably why something like, 70% of deals fail to deliver the intended value, is the hard work after the headlines.
70%. Wow, that's
Right.
that's huge. That's a staggering failure rate. It sounds incredibly complex. So what's one of the most critical stages then? The one that really determines if a deal succeeds long after the handshake?
Okay, the single most critical stage, and probably the key reason for that high failure rate, is integration planning and execution. Now, due diligence, that comprehensive check of financials, operations, legal stuff, that's vital for making the deal happen in the first place. But the post-merger integration plan, that's what ensures a smooth transition and, crucially, the actual realization of those hoped-for synergies. This covers everything: consolidating organizational structures, merging IT systems, aligning how things get done day to day, and maybe the toughest part, managing the culture clash. Which leads right into another huge challenge: post-merger culture and change management. Trying to blend two distinct corporate cultures, they might have totally different values, ways of communicating how decisions get made. It's incredibly difficult.
Hmm.
If you don't have really careful communication plans, ways to align teams, targeted leadership development, you just end up with two companies kind of awkwardly coexisting, not a truly unified entity. So yeah, the true value of an M&A project. It's often realized or lost in the meticulous, sometimes painful planning and execution of what happens after the deal is signed. Not just the signing itself.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Sustainability. It's definitely not just a buzzword anymore. For a lot of companies, it's a strategic imperative with real financial consequences too. How do consultants help organizations actually integrate ESG, environmental, social governance principles into their core operations? Make it more than just, good PR.
Right. Sustainability projects are really about guiding organizations to genuinely weave ESG principles into their core strategies, their day-to-day operations. The aim is long-term viability. That means directly tackling sustainability challenges, minimizing environmental impact, promoting social responsibility, upholding ethical governance. It's about aligning the company's practices with these broader sustainable development goals, not just ticking a box for a report.
So, what does that actually look like on the ground? How do these projects become tangible actions for businesses, not just sort of abstract commitments?
They translate into very concrete, measurable actions. For instance, carbon footprint analysis and reduction plans. Firms help measure a company's entire carbon footprint, often using established frameworks like the GHG protocol. Then they develop specific strategies to cut those greenhouse gas emissions. That could involve energy efficiency upgrades, optimizing complex global logistics, maybe transitioning to renewable energy sources, which often saves money too, by the way. Another area is circular economy model implementation. Here, consultants help companies fundamentally rethink and redesign products and supply chains. The goal is promoting material reuse, recycling, designing products to last longer, and drastically cutting waste across the whole value chain. And on the social side, which is critical, there's employee engagement and sustainability education. This isn't just like a one-off training. It's developing ongoing programs to get employees directly involved in sustainability efforts, promoting eco-friendly practices from the bottom up, and really fostering a deep inherent culture of sustainability within the organization. What's really compelling here, I think, is how these projects shift sustainability from being some peripheral concern, maybe compliance task, to being a core driver of business value, innovation, and building a stronger corporate reputation.
Okay, last big area for today, IT strategy. A lot of people maybe still see IT as just a support function, right? The people who fix the Wi-Fi or the email. But how do consultants help elevate IT to become a true strategic asset, something that proactively drives business goals and maybe even creates competitive advantages?
Yeah, that perception is definitely something we work to change. IT strategy is all about the deliberate planning and execution of a company's IT infrastructure
Mhm.
to not just support the business objectives, but actually to help lead and align with them. It involves optimizing infrastructure, applications, cybersecurity, all of that to enhance operational efficiency. Ensure data security, sure. But critically, it's about leveraging technology advancements. Think cloud, AI, blockchain. Using these for scalability, agility, and sometimes fundamental business transformation. It's about making IT an enabler of revenue and innovation, not just, a cost center that keeps the lights on.
Okay, so that's a pretty huge shift in thinking. How cutting edge do these IT strategy projects get? Are we just talking about making sure the big enterprise software runs okay, or are we really diving into like the future of tech here?
Oh, absolutely diving into the future. While keeping current systems running smoothly is like table stakes, IT strategy goes much, much deeper into truly transformational areas. A key example, cybersecurity strategy development. This isn't just installing antivirus, it's developing robust, proactive frameworks against really sophisticated, constantly evolving threats. That might mean implementing a zero-trust architecture, designing resilient security systems, having comprehensive incident response plans ready to go. Often the biggest hurdle isn't the tech itself, it's fostering that security-first culture across the whole organization. Then there's emerging technology adoption. Consultants advise on adopting tech like blockchain, maybe for supply chain transparency, or artificial intelligence for predictive analytics, machine learning for automation, the Internet of Things for new data streams. This involves assessing their real potential business impact, not just the hype, planning pilot projects, figuring out how to scale them effectively for actual ROI, and critically, digital workplace transformation. This is about designing strategies for a truly digital-first workplace, one that supports collaboration, flexibility, productivity. That involves everything from advanced communication platforms to mobile-first applications that empower employees wherever they are. The big question underlying all this is, how can businesses not just adopt new tech, but truly integrate it strategically? Integrate it to fundamentally transform how they operate, unlock new value, and gain a real decisive competitive edge.
Wow. Okay, that was quite a journey through the diverse world of strategic consulting projects today. From really understanding rivals with competitive intelligence to shaping digital futures, finding those less obvious growth paths, navigating tricky M&A deals, and ensuring businesses are sustainable long term. We've seen how each of these strategic deep dives offers, well, unique insights and very tailored solutions to some really complex challenges organizations face.
Exactly. And fundamentally, these projects are all about making incredibly informed, proactive decisions, especially in a business landscape that's just constantly evolving, getting more complex. Understanding these different strategic lenses, it helps all of us comprehend the bigger picture, why businesses operate the way they do, how they try to position themselves for success, and ultimately how they define their future path.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, the next time you read about a company's huge acquisition or maybe a surprising new product from a competitor or a really bold sustainability goal that seems to come out of the blue, think about the strategic deep dive, the kind of work we've talked about that likely made it all possible. It's almost never as simple as it looks on the surface.
And that leaves us with maybe a provocative thought to chew on. As the world keeps changing, maybe faster than ever, and so many traditional business models are being challenged. Which of these strategic areas we discussed, competitive intelligence, digital strategy, growth, M&A, sustainability, or IT strategy, which one do you think will become the absolute most critical for businesses to master in the coming years? And why?